Ba-da-ba. And we should be live. Ooh. We are done with the Psycho, but there's a little bit more to do in the instruction book. And why do I have angry eyebrows? Why? Why? Do I still have angry eyebrows? Are we good? We're good. Okay, so... it's always something at the start of stream, isn't it? Well, we finished the Gundam, the Psycho 2. But... we still have a little bit more to do in the instruction booklet. We're probably not gonna, like, do all the little things. But I think it'd be fun to do the kind of, like, things that, like the, arm wires and whatnot. Maybe get started on a little bit of repair work for another kit. But for the second half of the stream, I want you guys to vote on what you want me to do, and I don't remember the options. It's like drawing, just more gunplay in general, finishing the Gundam X, which is this, or starting on the Ed 209, which is right here, because I just had. So that's what's in the polls. Let's look at what is here. Also, welcome, Opus. I know you are eating right now, so you can't really respond, but happy to have you. Really happy with how today's short turned out. Always nervous whenever releasing a short or video, because you never know if YouTube is going to be like, yes, I will show this to people, or if it will just be like, no, I'm not going to show this to anyone. And then it just languishes. But people seem to be enjoying it, so I'm really happy about that. Ah, we do still need to finish these shoulder pads for him. Come on. There we go. We can start getting this off. I don't care to talk about drama too much, mostly because I just don't really get invested in drama, so I don't really know what's happening. But I know that among all the other things with Emiru, and how actually I was wrong, I thought like the story was that like she was allowed to bring one guard to her meet and greet. No, she wasn't allowed to bring no guards, no private security to her meet and greet. So she literally was just some jobber had to, like, you know, be her security. So, wonderful. So it's even worse than I originally thought. But also, I don't know who this is, but some dude named Mizkif, like, she was in a relationship with. And it went sour. Ooh, and, like, from what I heard, it was a little bit of he said, she said stuff. Until I saw a clip where it was, like... So, like, the accusation was, like, this guy named Mizkif, like, threw stuff at Emiru. And I was like, okay, that's a hell of a claim. Do we have evidence of it? And there's just a video of him throwing things in anger at people's faces. Like, this is a straight-up video of him just going like, hey, you forgot to put this away. And then just something flies from off screen and just hits a woman in the face. And it's just like, okay, so, like, we have evidence you're a piece of crap. What's your counterclaim, Mizkif? And he's like, well... Emiru threw plushies at me. Okay, so, unless we're talking about Beanie Babies, I don't think throwing plushies at somebody, throwing a cinnamon roll, doesn't quite sound like abuse to me. Actually, that reminds me of when I was a kid, and we would... Well, hey, Opus! Yeah, that was his defense, that, like, she threw plushies at me. And, like, again, unless it's a Beanie Baby, which have, like, those big, like, you know, glass eyes. No, a plushie's not going to hurt you. Where? Oh, they're under a bunch of stuff. But that reminded me of when I was a kid, when we did Beanie Baby jousting. And I talked about it when we did a collab with, I talked about when we did a collab with Etta, but I didn't go into detail of how it works. Welcome, Storm. Yeah, her private security was banned. Her personal security was banned because he grabbed a dude who was like following her around. He was doing his job. He didn't do anything wrong. He like was holding someone or detain. He can't detain them because he's not a police officer. But he was holding somebody who was stalking her so that the police could detain him. And oh, this is not coming off at all. And Twitch was like, well, you're not allowed in here anymore because you touched another guest. And it's like he was doing his job. The children yearn for Gunpla. I mean, two of the options technically are Gunpla. I literally have more Gunpla, or I have more Gunpla, or finish the Gundam X, which is also more Gunpla. I kind of didn't think about that until I did the poll, and I was like, well, I already restarted the poll once. I'm not restarting it again. The more Gunpla in general, though, would be... this stuff is not coming off as much as I hoped it would. It's just like me doing panel lining and whatnot. While the Gundam X would actually be me building something. Sadly, it looks like we won't be able to get to the Man Roadie before we start the next pole build. Unless I literally hold off for a week. I could make that a poll on the Discord too. Well, Twitch encourages creep behavior because the CEO's a creep. The CEO is a gooner who uses Twitch as, allegedly, I have to say, well, I'm so small that it doesn't matter. He ain't gonna sue me. But the creator, Dan Clancy, seemingly uses Twitch as a softcore OnlyFans. And because he's the, CEO, he doesn't have to pay, anything for it. He doesn't have to pay for subscriptions or special services. So he gets all this gooner content for free from his perspective. And he's awful. Ooh. But Beanie Baby jousting. I need to tell you the glory of Beanie Baby jousting. So what you do is you get Beanie Babies. And you have to find a medium square room, which isn't too difficult. There's plenty of rooms that are medium size that are square. However, the key thing is in the middle of the room, there has to be a ceiling fan that has a turbo setting. And by that I mean is one of those settings where when you turn the fan on max and it starts shaking in the ceiling, it needs to be able to go that fast. Okay? So you need the room, the fan, and you need 2 pillows to stand on either corner of the room. Okay, so say this is the room. The fan would be here, and then you have somebody... You'd have somebody standing here and here. And they'd both be on a pillow, and the pillows are home base. And what you do is you just have a pile of Beanie Babies, and you just toss the Beanie Babies, you throw your Beanie Baby up to the circling fan, and it will get caught in the fan, and then the fan will hit it at the other person if you throw it at the right angle, and it will actually whip it at them really fast and hit them. And if it hits them, that's a point. Ooh. Will you damage your fan doing this? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Well, if you're a kid, you're not paying for the repairs, so yeah, it is worth it. Famous last words. I said enough to make myself, not able to get sued. God, this... I wish I wasn't so liberal with this paint, because it is not coming off nearly as well as I thought it would. God, I don't like that sound. I don't imagine that's a good stream sound. Space Revolutionary Army did nothing wrong. I mean, they literally did what, they did what Char didn't have the balls to do, is what they did. They're just like, we're just gonna take all of the, like, colonies that are loyal to the Federation, or the Earth government, I forget what it's called, and just throw it at the planet. And it's just like, damn. It's like, why do we care? We live in space. We don't need Earth anymore. And it's like, okay, fair enough. God, I hate going back and forth, but it's just, this is so annoying to me. And the paint is filling up this sanding stick, something fierce, and I'm not able to brush it out. This is bad. I need to continue Gundam X so much, and I always say that. But this is like every time I watch an episode, I'm like, this is so good, and it's like, why don't you watch more? Because I just get busy with other things. I'm not watching, I'm literally watching nothing else. So like, I will say that at least. Like, I'm not like, you know, going like, I need to watch Gundam X while I'm like, you know, re-watching Re:Zero or something. Or like I'm continuing season 2 of Re:Zero. No, I'm not watching Re:Zero either. I'm watching nothing. Hell, I'm not even watching streams half the time. He was broadcast. Wait, he was. Oh my god! I thought that was just a channel for like Amuro. I didn't know everyone heard. I didn't know everyone heard. Lala could have been a mother to me. Holy shit! Imagine you're in a Gira Doga and your like great leader just starts talking to his like rival, and you just hear that. No wonder the Gira Doga were like, okay, wait, we made a mistake. We need to push this back into orbit. No wonder they were helping the Federation at the end. Holy shit. I still feel sorry for Amuro that the last words he ever hears is, that woman could have been a mother to me. That's so annoying. I did all that just to notice that I needed to apply another coat of paint to this. Ugh. There we go. Gotta hate how this shakes the I need like something that steadies my camera. Ooh. Oh my. Hold up, I'm gonna try to go. I'm already scuffing the hell out of this, so I just don't care. I'm gonna go down another grit. Also, sorry for canceling. I know it was a gorilla stream, but I still really wanted to do it. Sorry that we didn't do yesterday's stream. I just realized I had just too much on my plate. There we go. God, that looks so awful. I just don't care anymore, though. Up close, this is gonna have so many scratches on it, but nobody's gonna be viewing it up close, so I just don't care. Okay, now I need to go back over with the 3000 there. Ooh. I learned about something recently. Welcome, Ivan. Welcome, welcome. I don't think I said welcome to Derek directly, but welcome, Derek, as well. Ooh. Wait, have you hear the Japanese, the touch at... Oh, yeah, I saw that. You posted the, yeah, the Japanese cover of You Got the Touch. That was very nice. Ooh. Yeah, I didn't comment on it. I'm sorry about that, but it was nice. That's true. Also, I need to put in the top coat. But I can't do that on screen because it'll get on the camera lens and that would be bad. But I still need to sand it and polish it before the top coat. Yes? Come on. Yeah, you got the touch from Transformers, the movie, you know, the like, you got the touch, boo, boo, doo. You got the power. Ooh, I'm doing karaoke tomorrow if you're interested. But yeah, he posted a Japanese cover of it. Ooh. Oh god, but Japan, war, and all this has reminded me of another topic of floating dry docks. And if you don't know what that is, a floating dry dock, it is huge. It's as big as this. I mean, it's huge. It's as big as this, which might not sound too big, but this is the size of a perfect grade. It's a big girl. But a floating dry dock is exactly what it sounds. It's a dry dock, which is like what you take, is when you take a ship out of water to repair it. That's called a dry dock. A floating dry dock is a dry dock that goes under a ship and then lifts up the ship by like releasing water, and then now the ship is above water while still floating on water. And in World War II, America had multiple of these, had a lot of these that were big enough to hold like battleships. Ooh. And this is important because like apparently the Japanese like plan for like defeating the Americans revolved around the fact that they're like, okay, so America has like a bigger fleet and is like really dangerous, but America also, like, their repair yards are in California. So like anytime a ship gets damaged, it's gonna take them like it's gonna take them 2 months just to get back to California to get repairs, and then it's gonna take them like 4 months to get repairs, and then like another, you know, 2 months to get back. So like anytime we damage a ship, that's gonna be gone for like 8 months. Like we can do this by just pure attrition. Like, because like when our ships get damaged, it'll take like a month for like us to like not a month. It'll take us like, you know, 2 weeks to get back, like maybe a month or two to repair, and then like, you know, and then another 2 weeks to get back onto the front lines. Like we can do this, we can win. And then what happened is they would shoot American ships, like big American ships, do massive damage under the waterline. So like these ships would like be no longer seaworthy. And then 4 weeks later, they'd see the same ship on the American front lines again, and they're like, that ship was like, couldn't even make it back to California. How did it go to California and then make it back to the front lines in 4 weeks? And for the longest time, they're like, how is this happening? Like, what is happening here? I don't get it. Until a sub-commander behind American lines looks out of his periscope and just sees a battleship floating above the water with a bunch of tiny, like a bunch of like men looking like ants all over it, just fixing it up like madmen. And he just goes, oh wow, we really fucked up. Like, it's just that moment where you're like, oh god, their factories are literally right behind the front lines. Like, how is that even possible? And when the Japanese found out about the floating dry docks, they were just like, oh, they literally just were like, okay, so like, all of our math is wrong. I don't think we can beat America anymore. Like, Japan made these submarine carriers that disguise Zeros trying to attack the US mainland. Oh, yeah. They also did that where they had modified like planes. But yeah, they also had like they had a carrier submarine that could hold like a few like planes. This is looking awful and I hate it. But it could hold a few planes, and it's really cool, but also really impractical because like to like launch the planes takes so much time. to recover the planes takes so much time, and it just would be a massive target while it was doing like all of this. But it's actually really cool if you look up Japanese like a submarine carrier. Actually, if you look up submarine carriers in general, it's really cool because people keep trying to be like, let's put planes inside submarines, and it's like, nah, how about we don't? Because there's a lot of logistic reasons why we don't. And they're like, no, it'll work this time. Experimental, like, super weapons are really interesting and almost never get built, like the rat tank of Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany was like, hey, let's build a Warhammer 40k, like, Bane blade, effectively. Their idea was literally to take a battleship's main cannon, and just think about how big that is, and just put it on a tank. And you might be like, but a tank's not big enough. Exactly. So they just make the tank big enough to hold the main cannon of a battleship. And it's like, why would, like, what would you even use that for in, like, realistic terms? Like, what would you need that much firepower for anything that's on the mainland? Like, we don't have, like, giant walls anymore. You know, any tank would, like, tanks would probably actually be too fast for the tank, for, like, the super tank to hit. What's the point of it? And Nazi Germany was like, just sink a lot of money and distract us. They never built the rat tank, but they did build the mouse tank, and the mouse tank is terrifying. They only built two, never got into the battlefield, but the mouse tank is terrifying. The Gustav was long, like, distance artillery, and it was not the best idea, but it at least made sense. I suppose you could say the rat was also mobile artillery, but the rat couldn't cross bridges. It was too big to cross a bridge. It was just, there's no point to it, which is why it was never built. It got bloated up, because, like, the Russians were like, hey, can we look at that? And America was like, no, you can't. There's quite a few things where Russia was like, hey, can we get a look at that thing that, like, you got from the Japanese? And we just went like, what thing? It's like, well, the thing you had, like, you said you found this, like, carrier submarine. No, we didn't. It doesn't, what do you mean? There's no carrier submarine. It's like, well, it was just right over there. No, it's not. There was never a submarine. What are you talking about? We could have just hid the submarine, but no, we would just sink it and be like, nah, that wasn't a thing. Ooh. Ooh. I think that actually there were train artillery. The Gustav was the train artillery one, and that one was wild because they actually built. What they would do is that they would build the train tracks to make it move. Like, they wouldn't use pre-existing train tracks. They would actually put down the train tracks, move it forward, take the train tracks behind it, undo those ones, carry them in front of it, and then put those ones down. So it'd pretty much be like, imagine this is the Gustav, and, like, these are the train tracks. Like, so it'd just be, like, moving, and as they move, they'd, like, you know, put the new ones down in front of it, and then, you know, take up the old tracks and put down the new ones in front of it, and just so on and so forth. And that's how it moved around. And it's just like, at that point, why like, why not just make it treaded? But if it was treaded, it would sink into the ground and be too heavy, like the rat would have been. I think they had, like, they also had, I think, rail cannons during the First World War, but they weren't, like, as big as the Gustav, and they had the Paris gun, which is what the Gustav was or was the Gustav the Paris gun? There was a gun that was meant to, like, bombard Paris from behind the lines. Like, it's supposed to be so big that it could reach Paris even behind, like, the front lines of the war. I think the Paris gun was the First World War, but it never lived up to the hype. While the Gustav was, like, the Second World War, but it turns out it didn't really fit with, like, the German war method. Ooh. Like, with because the Germans were like, just use combined arms tactics, and well, the Gustav was a little too slow to keep up with combined arms tactics, so it just never made it. There's other wonder weapons to work, but like the thing is that when a wonder weapon works, what happens is that it just becomes the normal weapon most of the time. But I mean, a wonder weapon that did work was it's not a cannon, it's like what came before cannons, but Constantinople fell because somebody just built like a really big cannon and then fired it at the wall of Constantinople. And that's how the Muslims conquered the capital of the Byzantine Empire. So like wonder weapons do work on occasion. It's just that most of the time they're just a massive money sink and not worth it. Oh my god, that reminds me of the F-15 and the F-35 and how the F-15 and F-35 have the same backstory of like wonder planes. Because what happened is the F-15, which is like an amazing fighter plane with an incredible record, it was made because the Russians unveiled something known as... Also, I forgot this is how I'm supposed to get off the paint, so this would have been a lot quicker. Ooh. But they unveiled a new plane. They unveiled a new MiG. All of their planes are called MiGs, so we're just going to call it a new MiG. But they unveiled a new MiG, which was supposed to be like a interceptor for like nuclear bombers. But they didn't say that. They were just like, we have a new plane. Look how fast it goes, is all they did. And then America thought it was like a dogfighter. They thought it was like a like one-on-one, like, you know, fighter plane. It wasn't. It was an interceptor. Which means it was specialized for a certain role. And so America was like, oh no, we need to make a new plane. And so we just made like the F-15. And the F-15 was... It couldn't reach the same top speed as the MiG, but it could like do the same speed while maneuvering as the MiG, which is very important because it's like doing like Mach 3 while like pulling off aileron rolls and like barrel rolls and shit, and just like doing like high G maneuvers. In fact, it could do higher G maneuvers than the MiG. And then for the next like what, 30 to 40 years, that just becomes the best plane in the sky. And then what happens like a few, like I think however many years ago, almost said Japan like an idiot, China's like, we have a new super plane. And it's also just like a test plane or like an specialized interceptor. And America's like, oh no, we need to make a new super plane. So we make the F-35. And again, we make the best plane in history. And it's just like, just stop saying you have super planes. America's really paranoid and really good at making super planes. Like, just if you're an enemy of America, don't brag about your planes because we're super insecure, apparently. Yeah, the F-15 is still getting upgraded is the thing. Because it's still cheaper to make than like the F-35, and it's still better than most planes. It's a damn good plane. Ooh, welcome, K's. Is it? Oh, really? Almost an equal vote. To hear that it's so close right now is actually pretty cool. I'm trying to get this off, but it's, this is annoying. This section of the build is a little concave, so when I'm scraping, I'm not actually like making contact with the paint. There we go. I'm really happy that is not coming through the mic. Ooh, it wasn't, well, mostly wasn't coming through the mic when I was looking, but that was making a horrible scraping sound. I have come, welcome Gundam. Ooh. The B-21 and the large autonomous submersible are the game changers. Oh, I didn't know that we had a large submersible. My autism is more in the past. I like B-17 bombers. Actually, the B-17 bomber is my favorite plane. I just like it. It's called the Flying Fortress. It looks really cool. It destroyed Europe. It's pretty awesome, you know? As an American, what more can I ask for? Posted some pictures on Discord. I'll get to those in a hot minute. Ooh. Yeah, note to self, just don't use the higher grits, because they leave marks something fierce. I just need to use this to scrape off any excess paint. It doesn't leave ugly scratches for the most part, and I say that and it just did. But it left ugly scratches because I did it unevenly. You just even it out. Oh, actually, wait a minute. This might be how I fix that. I find it funny, all the people losing their minds over the fact that, like, the White House is using, like, Halo memes as a joke right now. And they're like, Halo's not political. And it's like, you guys have literally been saying everything is political for the last, like, 10 to 15 years. You no longer get to say that over a meme. You know, like, they're not even, like, genuinely, like, saying, like, oh, Halo is political. They're just using the fact that Halo is in the news. They didn't even, no, they use the fact that, like, Halo is coming to PS5 to make a joke. And people are losing their minds, and it's like, yeah, no. Ooh. I like the, B-25 Mitchell. Ooh. Actually, let me get to your art corner. Models. Well, actually, that first one looks really nice. There's a lot of detail on it. Is that a third party or a real grade? I'm not sure. Oh, then you have a Pale Rider. Okay, and then this. And then where's the polishing stick? It's right here. This looks nice. The last one's not rotated, but kind of surprised how well the... Because the last one, I don't know if it's an aerial or one of the aerial, like, I don't know which version of the aerial it is, but it's an aerial. But I like how well the aerial can go with other kits. I don't know if it's, I think it's just the head you replace, but the fact that it can still go even with just a head replacement is really promising for it as a kit basher. I'm happy I'm going to be applying top coat to all of this. Well, I was asking if it was an RG because I couldn't tell, but there's a lot of, like, little detail on it. I didn't know if that, where all that panel lining came from. Oh, the pot. Yeah, I saw that pizza. I'm surprised he didn't just, I don't know, just scrape off the burnt part. That's what I would have done. I'm trying to see if I can, like, get rid of these scraping lines, and it doesn't look like I can. So I'm just gonna have to suck it up and do top coating. Luckily, it looks, I think these pieces are all internal, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Actually made it worse, and I'm so upset about that. It looks so... You can kind of see it. It looks so bad. Oh my god. A B-36 in a Kerbal Space Program. Oh damn, that lets you build a lot. Ooh. Yeah, GameStop was like, it's the end of the console war, and then the White House posted a meme of like Donald Trump in like Mjolnir armor. And then other people were like, here's JD Vance, like, here's JD Vance in like the perm and with the like the fat face and like Mjolnir armor. And then people started getting like really butt mad because of it, and it's like, ooh. Like, it's just a joke. It's a pretty funny joke, and the only reason the joke went on more than a day or two is because people started to complain about it, because like people were like, I'm offended by this. Well, now the joke went from, hey, look, here's Trump in Mjolnir armor, to, oh, hey, look, you're late, like you're lame. You think this is like, you can't take a joke. We're gonna point and laugh at you now. It's so simple. But they still do it. Ah, crap, it's on the outside. I thought this piece was gonna be on the inside. Ah, that's awful. Oh, it's made of 3 kits. It's made of the Ariel, the Caliban, and the G-Line. Oh, okay. Oh, that was unnecessary for me to cut. You had an eat of shame, like a walk of shame? I mean, you chose to do that to yourself. Ooh. But... Oh, I used props and jet engines, damn. Did it? Probably my most consistent autistic, like, tick that I do on stream is I just go da-da-da when I'm, like, trying to, like, reorganize my thoughts. Ooh. I heard about a movie that came out that's about nuclear war, but then I heard it's really bad, so we're not going to talk about that. Instead, we're going to talk about Dr. Strangelove, because that is really good. China, we're having a fit with China because we've been overly dependent on them for manufacturing for so long, and it's a very complicated geopolitical issue. But long story short is, ooh, neither side likes each other. America and China don't like each other, but they both rely on each other in different ways. And so we want to renegotiate, and China doesn't. Is like the really TLDR, you know, not giving nearly enough, you know, detail. These are horrible sprues that leave horrible marks. But I cannot give you like the whole story of it because it'd go into like a lot of detail, and I'm just not that kind of streamer, sadly. Ooh. I'm more about like silly history than like actual important geopolitical history, sadly. Yokohama Gundam, the kit goes crazy panel lining. It does have crazy panel lining. Ooh. The props are backwards. Oh my god, wait. So it's like, wait. There's a plane. I forget if it's Japanese or like German, but at the end of the war, it was like a plane that looked like a jet plane, but at the back of it, it had like a propeller instead of a jet engine, and it looks so goofy, but it goes like all the way to becoming cool again. Yeah, it was I don't know if that's what you had, Opus, but I'm gonna go see. Ooh. And then, do I want to deal with this? Yes, I do, but I don't. But I do. Here's the real question. Can I get away with just sticking... Which one goes where? Wait a minute. I've made a mistake. I know that's not... I know that doesn't specify much, but... Oh! I feel like the ape in 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like, figuring out the bone. Oh. These go together. Oh, the Japanese and the... Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Actually, I think in, isn't in Godzilla -1, isn't it one of those push propeller planes? I think it is, actually. But Dr. Strangelove got... What I love about Dr. Strangelove is actually how it shows just how much has to fail for a nuclear war to happen. Like, if you pay attention, like, so much has to go wrong for a war to happen, and in the end, it's an automated system that actually just, that dooms humanity. What? What ends up dooming humanity is an automated system, so it's not even human error that curses humanity. It's a computer that's just like, I like a nuke went off, I guess I have to end the world now. What is it? Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so you're like the classic one where these two parts connect, but they also separate. I see. Ooh, we're almost... Okay. I'll speed this up so we can get this done and then move on to whatever next. Yeah, okay. I thought it did. And then... Yeah, so... Wrong one. I don't really play military sims, actually. I love military history, but I'm just so terrible at strategy and things like that that I usually just avoid that kind of thing. But... Huh. Oh, here it is. I was like, I'm missing the other case brute. It was right here. Godzilla -1 is so clean. It is such a clean movie. I don't like the film ending with the infection as, like, sequel bait. I despise that. It doesn't need sequel bait. Get the hell out of here. However, the film ending with, like, you know, the infection, I don't have a problem with, as, like, it continuing the themes. How, like, even after war, there is still scars. How... Just like, because, like, the whole film is about, you know, like, trauma and, you know, scars that linger. So the idea that there's scars on everyone, I don't have a problem with, but it's just how, it's not about, but that's not why there's an infection. The reason there's an infection is because it's sequel bait. And it's like, that's what gets me, is the fact that it's very much broadcasting itself. And I kind of hope it doesn't get a sequel, because it doesn't need one. And then you can just go like, yeah, the sequel bait just is, you know, the themes of the film. Screw it. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, the Americans did that a lot. We after winning World War II, just like looked at a lot of things that the Japanese and Germans had, and we're like, this is really cool. We're gonna do it now. This is a really cool plane. Ooh. god, you stayed in biplanes doing War Thunder? That... Oh god, that sounds like the Kirby. That sounds like you're either, you know, putting yourself at a severe disadvantage, or you're like that guy in Melee who, like, played Kirby and then figured out... No, wait. Who played Jigglypuff and found out how Jigglypuff was actually goated. Like, actually, by playing the biplane, the other guys can't get a beat on me because I'm too slow. And their jet engines, they just fly right past me. They can't get a lock because I have no heat signature. JPC Godzilla movie tend to do that. A lot of movies do tend to do that, but yeah. Ooh. Even Godzilla vs. Destroyer technically had sequel bait, even though it was supposed to be the final film in that franchise. Even, you can still consider the end of that movie where, like, the son of Godzilla is like a full-size Godzilla, could still be considered like sequel bait. It's always like left open enough for like more to happen. Even Godzilla, Shin Godzilla, that's why I was getting it wrong. Even Shin Godzilla had a bit of like, you know, it had a bit of sequel bait in it. Ooh. Is this what they do? One of my favorite moments in Godzilla -1, speaking of it, is the moment when just the classic Godzilla music starts playing during the boat scene. The boat scene is wonderfully directed, because all it is just them sailing a couple of boats around Godzilla to tie him up. But it's shot, and it's shot in like such an intense way that you're like all in for it. You're like, oh my god. But what really sells that scene is the music. And how the music hits, it's like, it hits its crescendo or whatever it is when the wave hits the ships. Because Godzilla fires off his beam and it causes like a big wave, and when the wave hits the ships, the music like picks up and it's this dun 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 dun, and it's like, oh, like it is maybe the best like version of Godzilla's main theme, and it's used in possibly the best way. It's Godzilla Suite, and I think it's like suite number 3 on the soundtrack. It is so damn well done. And again, all the scene is pretty much like, imagine, you know, this dude, and just imagine like two boats on either side of this guy just slowly like going around him. That's all the scene is in practical terms. But it's shot so well, and the music sells it so well. There's a German... Oh my god, I think I've seen that before, but I haven't seen it in so long that I don't remember what it looks like, but the front and back propeller. When Godzilla... Yeah, when, like, the battle... The false hope in that scene is so good when, like, Godzilla is coming at them, and it's like, even when like they blow up the face of Godzilla, it's like, oh no, you know, like Godzilla's still coming at us. And then the recommissioned Japanese battleship, the pride of the Imperial Navy, comes into, like, just fires at it from off screen. Godzilla gets multiple direct hits, and it just comes sailing, like the camera pans over, you just see this beautiful battleship and just filled with crew, and you're like, yeah, Japan still got it. Godzilla goes underwater. It's like he's dead. And then he just fires a beam off. Spoilers. Directly through the bottom of the ship. Like it's nothing. Causes a nuclear blast. And he just goes, you ain't shit. I'm gonna do like... Maybe the beam directly through the bottom is a different scene. But I know he also like climbs on top of the ship. He just destroys the ship. And you're just like, oh wow, yeah. Yeah, this is, he has Shin Godzilla, like, regeneration powers. Okay. We might be a little boned. Oh god, Final Wars watch-along would be... That would actually be really fun. Ooh. And actually, that'd actually be really good watch-along material, but... I don't know when, actually, because I don't know what would be a good setup for it, so... There might not actually be a good setup for that, so it'd probably just be like a watch party or just whenever I have the time for it. But that's actually not a half bad suggestion. That movie's so fun. But actually, speaking of watch-alongs, I have decided to try to make the Alien movie into a watch-along, not a watch party. But everyone is still busy this weekend. So what I've decided to do is continue playing Alien Isolation into next month. And then halfway through next month when we beat the game, we're going to do a watch-along, which I know it's going to be weird, like in the middle of November, but just stick with me. We're going to do the watch-along for Alien, and hopefully people will be free then. Ooh. Oh no, I can't hide it. Oh, no, I don't think I'm that legendary, man. I don't think I know who you're talking about. I don't think I'm him, sadly. Ooh, okay, thank you for sending it. Oh god, wait, I forget what it's called, but God, in Star Wars, it's like it's called the lightning bolt but it's like I forget what it's called in like, it's the one where it's like literally like two planes stuck together. It's that plane from like America where it's just like a really fast interceptor because it's literally just two planes put together. That plane, I forget what it's called. It's called the Lightning, but I forget what its like designation is. But its designation, which is like maybe F-15 or something. Well, it's not F-15. But like, its designation is actually shared by a Star Wars ship, because there's a Star Wars ship called the Utapau Starfighter, which is directly based on it. And it's so clean. And it's one of my favorite like minor starfighters in Star Wars. And with this, we can wrap up and see what you guys voted for. Come on. Is Gigan the one with like the chainsaw? Oh, I have seen that plane. It's been so long. It looks a little more normal than you'd expect it to, but it's pretty neato, burrito. But is Gigan the one with the chainsaw belly? Yes, he is. Ooh, Gigan is pretty cool. Gigan is he's just cool. He has a chainsaw for a belly, and it's like, well, how does that make organic sense? He's a robot. He's like a cyborg monster. Don't think about it too much. But that's actually really cool lore. That like to fight back against Godzilla Earth, they keep rebuilding Gigan. That's actually pretty neat lore. Ooh. I was gonna put this here because we don't need it. We'll fold this up and this up. And then we do need those actually. I lied. I was wrong. Gigan! I'm kind of surprised Monsterverse hasn't done Gigan yet, in all honesty. Gigan is like a classic Godzilla foe. Let's see here, K-14. Looking for this one, K-14 it looks like. I don't see it on this sprue, which is a little concerning. I see K9, which I've been wanting to make that joke, like, for the last 5 or 6 streams. But I lost it because I just said K9 without making the joke. Damn it! Okay, so I don't even see the... Well, that's annoying. It looks like did it fall off or did I cut it off? It looks like I already cut it off, but I don't see it anywhere. Ah, here it is. Okay. There it is, and then here, and then I need to put on the K9 pieces. Then we'll have this shield done and we can do whatever you want to do for part 2 of this stream. Oh. Yeah, I just remember it's the lightning. I don't think it's the lightning bolt. I think it's just the lightning. Let me look it up. It's the P. It's P, which is the what makes it unique. But lightning plane. It's like P35, I think. Actually, you know what? Let's see if it is P35. Autism, don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. No, the P35 is the Severus. What the? It's not the P35. Okay, so. It's not. No. Okay, so. Lightning. That's not even spelled. I spelled night somehow from lightning. Lightning. Plane. World War II. There it is. The Lightning. Lockheed P-38. Ah! Damn it, I was so close. P-38 Lightning. Let me get a picture up. It's a beautiful plane. But I'm talking about this one. Talking about that one. And I'll show you the Star Wars P-38. Star Wars P-38. Yeah, PV-48 is what I meant to put in. Yes, absolutely. P-38. And here is the Star Wars ship, the P-30, the Utapan P-38. I need to stop holding it at an angle like that. That's really awkward. P-55. Actually, it wasn't the P-55. Let me see P-55. The thing is, there's a lot of lightnings. Oh, the back propeller one. Yeah, the P-55 is kind of crazy. Welcome, Ricey. Ooh. Let me get to that before it times out. Not times out. Oh, yeah. I know you were talking about the wrestler dude. The wrestler dude from Final Wars. That goes there. Let's get out the other one. You came just in time. I was about to end the poll. Ooh. Oh, the P... I mean... Ooh. It might be the successor. It probably is. Ooh. Considering the designation and whatnot. Sadly, I don't know, like... I know more about, like, Gundam, like... lineages, like mobile suit lineages, than I do about real life world, like military plane lineages, now that I think about it. And then you go in like this. There are so many lock and key. And with that, and we can flip open the Then we flip... Which way do you go? Then we flip this open, and then we can plug this... Okay, your shoulder pads are kind of in the way. We can plug this in, and there we have him. Ooh, we're not going to do the funnels and whatnot, because we need to look at the pole now. That took us like an hour to do, because I'm incompetent. UFC... Oh, that's fucking... You're right. Ooh, I wonder who the one to ask. Anyways, I was going to say I had like the disc copy of Gundam Seed Fold. Damn, you got a good collection there, my man. See here, and I almost just like reached for my camera as though I could turn that off. I need to mute my mic while I... More generic Gunpla it is. Ooh. The polls have it. Whenever done, fry time. Jesus. Plane lore does go crazy. There are some crazy ass, like, really cool planes too. Concept planes to like planes that we really built. I love the planes that literally like move like their control surfaces. Not control surfaces. Control surfaces are like their wing flaps and whatnot. But like the ones that like, what they'll do is like when they're flying, they'll do this with their wings. And they're doing that so that like at hypersonic flight, the wind is going like off the wings and pushing them down. So they're actually getting more lift by like doing this with their wings because they're flying so fast. And it's like, what's the physics behind that? I don't know, but it's cool. Oh god, I hope you guys are enjoying this stream. Oh god, let's see here. What else do we have? Actually, I do have a plane model. Sadly, that's not Gunpla, so technically it doesn't fall under this description. But I do have a Warthog. I have an A10, not T10. I have an A10 Warthog. Ooh. And now that we're doing water slides, actually, we can start... I can put that on a pole now. Ooh. Actually, yeah, my non-Gunpla stuff needs to be put on a pole. I just remembered that. Do some touch-ups. Do some... Oh, I know exactly who could use some touch-ups. My Nightingale. Ooh. One thing we can do is fix up my Nightingale if we're doing more Gunpla. Downforce. Well, yeah, it creates lift. Let me get this out. Okay. Okay, so this one is a little too thin. So I need to get out a bit bigger, and I also need to get out the wiring. This wire is a little too thick to fit into this little hole. This is the Nightingale's like shoulder armor, and it like something fell on it and broke the part that holds it on. So I need to drill in a little hole that's big enough for like big enough to hold 81 millimeter wire. The T. Oh yes, the T10 Warthog. I corrected myself. I caught myself before I said the full thing. Let me see here. Was this another dude with a mustache? So help me God. Somehow everything but the guy is popping up. Ooh. It says no single person, sadly. Ooh. Which I feel like is a cop-out. Okay, so let's see here. This is my thinnest screw. I need whatever is the next step up from that. Okay. Let's try this one. And I did this wrong. Then we put this in. Preparing the Nightingale. Merrick, you're going the wrong way. There you go. No, you did it. Ow! Poked me in the hand a little. Okay, so I need to have it very deeply seated. I forgot. Okay, so now... Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Can you please come out? There you go. That has to be... Surely that's thick enough to hold this wire. Surely. Yes, it is. Okay. I need to move this off the table because there's not going to be enough room. Okay, so let us... Don't fall over. Don't fall over. Everything just... Don't fall over. Oh, God. Don't. Okay, okay, okay. You'd love to see the, I mean, technically speaking, it is in Federation colors because it was made by the Federation. Technically. Yeah, technically. Okay, so I don't have wire cutters, but I have the next best thing. I just have scissors. I lost my wire cutters. Do not use scissors to cut wire. That is a bad idea. But this wire is very malleable, actually. Well, because it's actually soldering wire. Well, oh, there it is. Okay. So can I get this off is the question. I would like to get this off. I've tried to glue this back on before, if you're wondering why I'm doing wire. It's because I need to anchor it, because it'll just come off again if I just don't use wire. Don't call me Shirley. Ooh, you said Merrick down. I thought my audio was actually also down. Okay. Let me get out the super glue. Oh, that's actually really... I like little Easter eggs like that, little piece of information. Three bootlegs or one Bandai. Those bootlegs do be going cheap. Okay, so... Okay, let me put this here and hope it doesn't glue. Okay. And what I need now is to take this. Okay, my eyes were killing me, and it's because my light was in the wrong area. It's like right above me. It's blinding me. Ooh. Oh, okay. It looks like I screwed a little too close to the sun because I actually screwed through it. Right. Ironic. Let me see here. So, I need to get the angle right is the thing. That's going to be the hardest thing about what I'm doing here. Okay, I think I can get the angle. Annoyingly, I have to put this back into the piece. Okay, and then I need a little bit of paint for what I'm about to do. Ooh. I don't know what the FF Gundam is, so I wouldn't be the expert on that one, but it have big gun. Oh god, anyways, I'd probably guess whichever one is more advanced, but also would depend on the area, because the Penelope has the flight system, which is great in atmosphere, but I mean, that's more of a theoretical, but like, I don't really know how the Minovsky flight system would really do in space. I don't know if it was meant for space and whatnot. It might just be fine, might make it more maneuverable, or it might not. Okay. That goes there. About the same speed. You have all those funnel missiles from the Penelope. So if it becomes a close range battle, like a mid-range battle, probably those funnel missiles are gonna help a lot. But if it's long range, that main gun just seems fierce. But I'm not an expert on I'm not an expert on these things. I just learned about the double F Gundam when you mentioned it. Okay. Hey, I know the Big Zam was technically a custom because the mass-produced is only like 40 meters, while the Big Zam itself is 60 meters. It's a big boy. It earns that name, Big Zam. Ooh. He said, oh. I thought F-22 was F-22 Penelope. I thought that was the prefix between, ooh. So I thought you were asking about the the double F new type Gundam, or if you're asking about the Penelope. I'm sorry, probably the fucking Penelope in that case. Ooh. Versus an F. Yeah, I picked that out because somebody else. Yeah, probably not the jet. Wild guess, probably not the jet in that case. And that is as deep as we can go, actually, right now. So, let's get this and start cutting away. Okay. Okay. I put that on perfectly. So we can just put on a little bit of super glue and it should now be anchored in. Awesome. I'm really happy about that. This is the first time I've ever had to do this, and it looks like it's going to be fine the first time I ever do it. I feel like the Penelope would win because I don't know. I don't think the main gun on an F-22 is going to do any damage, and the missiles literally can't track because of Minovsky particles. I don't know if there's literally a way for the F-22 to win. Damn it. This is really delicate work. It's not really delicate work, it's precise work. That's why it's so hard. Okay, why are you not going in now? There you go. Okay. It is not flush. Why are you not flush? Okay, you are annoying to me now. So I'm gonna have to wait for that to dry. Because apparently, even though how much I cut off, it's still not deep. Apparently I did not drill the hole deep enough, so I have to drill that a little bit deeper. But I need to wait for the paint, the glue to dry to do that. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to get the excess glue off. There we go, of the metal. And now the Nightingale is in the way of chat, so I'm gonna move the Nightingale. There we go. You can always tell the story of the Gearing campaigns, but I feel like the concern is that it's going to be a little long, isn't it? Well, the tanks took down the Zaku, but like a lot of times the tanks that could would have to score like critical hits on the Zaku, or have to have multiple tanks. Like you'd have to have an entire battalion of tanks fire at the Zaku, like the one in I don't know when it is, but like the one scene where like a Zaku walks from behind a building and there's just on an overpass, there's just like 2 columns of tanks and they'd all just shoot at the Zaku point blank. But yeah, you can always share how like campaigns went, whether it's with me or chat. It looks like you're gonna share it with Derek. Also, chat can, even if I can't keep up with it, chat is gonna be having a lot easier time keeping up with it. Let me put away all these extra screw heads real quick. Yeah, that's also true. They really are super, like, they kind of return back to being super weapons, where, like, the first Gundam is a high-end, like, experimental unit, but not necessarily supposed to be a super weapon in and of itself. Things like the new Gundam and the Penelope and the Cassie really are supposed to be, like, wunder weapons. Okay. That's back on. You're just like, I don't need a development. I'm just gonna conquer them now. Oh god, actually going back to Twitch, because I forgot to mention about how the person who did the interview for Dan Clancy is a notorious like doxer, but like how she was just like very obviously paid off because she's like, oh, you had a security problem where like Emiru got assaulted, you know, but like you do have a very secure con. In fact, it's the most secure con I've ever seen. You know, like, in fact, journalists can't even do their job because the con is so secure. And it's like, how can a con be so secure that a journalist can't do their job? They just walk around and go, people are at the convention. How is the security so high? But she's like, but she did get assaulted, but the security wasn't to blame, is effectively what she was doing. Oh my god. I wanted to do more water slide decals, but I lost the water slide decals for the rest of the slide decals, sadly. know what? I'm gonna build the I'm gonna build the Gundam X's main weapon. While everything dries. I won't be finishing the Gundam X, but it'll be. I still want to do this. I would ask how Taylor or Lorenz still gets work, but I mean, literally that's, I just saw how she gets work. She gets work by, you know, doing softball questions to, like, millionaires. And, let's see here. Ooh. I hope you gave Rambaral his dom. Yeah. Ooh. Jesus Christ, Gundam would have been over a lot sooner if that happened. If Makuve wasn't a bitch and wasn't, like, you know, playing angles and whatnot. Amuro and White Base probably wouldn't have made it, considering, like, literally Amuro and White Base barely survive, even once Rambaral is out of the picture. Because his men are like, yeah, well, we're also skilled, you know, Rambaral taught us well, so we're just gonna finish the job. And it's like, oh. Oh, and you're competent, actually. Oh no. Oh yeah, that's true. You said, like, I've never actually directly asked, but it looks, yeah, it looks like Giran's Greed does follow, like, a calendar. Ooh. Which is also pretty cool if it has an internal clock. The new Gundam is absolutely super weapon. I mean, one of those ace units it took down, though, was Guy, to be fair. Guy who's all like, yeah, I'm gonna beat Amuro, and then, like, that'll prove that I'm better than Char, and then I'll take out Char. And then when he encounters Amuro just shoots him in the back and flies on. Like, he literally comes face to face with Amuro. Amuro flies past him, shoots him in the back, and goes, who the hell was that guy? I'm gonna defeat you, Amuro! Oh, Guy. Ooh. You truly were a guy. Wow, that is hideous. That is hideous. Look how ugly that panel lining is. I'm gonna clean it up, of course, but oh my god, I didn't even try. I didn't even try to be neat and clean with it. Oh, E. So where is E? Here, is this E? No, this is D. This is E. Oh. Chat, when we're done, make sure I put everything back into the Gundam X box. I don't want to be building the Gundam X, like, in a few weeks from now and be like, oh, no. I forgot, I have to do something real quick. Sorry about that. Before stream started, I was like, oh, I need to, like, put something up in, like, stream chat, but I couldn't remember what it was. It was that. It's the final day of the poll for the next build. Oh. God, doing that actually made me lose track of where my other stuff is. I don't know where my other sprue cutter is. Ah, it's right there. It'll be right back. Okay. His Garuda plane escorted by like 4 Gaos. So I imagine Garma leading his plane. Gao's ready to come in, and they said Nog. I don't really, you know, like I understand the drill mobile suits now that you bring them up, like, you know, they're to dig into Jaburo. But really, what was the point of like the whip mobile suits? That just doesn't seem very practical. They look cool, but I mean, it's just like, why though? I guess the idea is maybe if they were meant also for Jaburo, like the close quarters, where maybe where like more ranged weapons might not be as reliable. That'd just be a guess, though. Would be the guess for the justification. Kinda wonder how Bandai keeps messing up Gundam games. It's weird because classic Gundam games sound really good, but all modern Gundam games sound really bad. Like, you literally own the Armored Core franchise, use that as a base, bro. Well, sadly, Armored Core does have, like, some differences to it. But yeah, it's just... Even, like, using that for inspiration, they just don't even bother. And then... this. The whips are strong enough to... I don't know how they're strong enough to do that, but I'll believe you. If the lore says it, then I guess I just have to believe it. And then... this goes here. You go here. Okay, you go here. Then I need the polycap. Why are there like 3 polycap things in? Why are there so many polycaps in here? I don't know which polycaps I'm supposed to be using because here's 1 polycap, 2 polycap, 3 polycap, 4 polycap, 5. Why do I have 5 polycap sprues in here? What am I doing? Oh my god, I need polycap 1. Oh my god, what? Okay, here's polycap 1. What am I doing? This is such a mess. How did so many polycaps get in here? There's a Gundam game similar to Armored Core. From what I've seen of Armored Core, it looks a little faster than what I'd expect of Gundam, but like not so fast that it couldn't be Gundam. That's why I kind of like cut myself off a little. And then this one goes here. Why do you ask me to, like, align multiple things at once? One of the worst things when building a Bandai kit is when it's like, align more than 2 pegs at once. There we go. It's always a painful experience. Back. Foreskin back, foreskin up. Foreskin back, foreskin up. Okay. Here. What the hell was that? What the hell is this? What is this? Why do I have this? Oh god, what is this? Oh no, 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 no. C? Oh lordy, oh lordy, oh lordy. C10. C10. 2, 8, no, 2, 3. I can count. I can count. I know what comes after 2. What the hell is 10? 20, 9, 8, 12, 10. I can count. I can count, chat. Okay, I graduated preschool. You don't need to be worried. Don't ask about the other grades, okay? You know, I graduated preschool. That's all you need to know. Gundam Seed, never ending tomorrow. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? What is... That is a very 2000s title. Ooh. Oh, you're saying Gundam Seed Never Ending Tomorrow is the game. Gundam Seed actually was one of the things I was thinking of, like how it could fit more with one of a different universe. It's very fitting that you say that, in all honesty. That's pretty cool. Unassembled, these pieces actually look really similar. And they come together to create something that looks very different. Oh, the thing with older Gundam games are that they're decent for their time. Ooh. But they never really, like, they never seized upon the, where that could go, it sounds like. Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's... It sounds like they have a few cult classics, but no masterpieces, is what it sounds like you're saying. I could be wrong there. G-Core with backflips added is just GQ, that's true. GQ is also another one of those more quick, well, timelines rather than universes. Ooh. It really depends how far they want to lean into the real robot versus, like, you know, heavy machinery. It depends on the universe, it really does. So after beating the Federation, two Federation... Well, you know what? You can just see them as two Federation splinter factions, actually, can't you? And my stream is actually behind in the feed, so I'm just not going to bother with that. So, well, I guess you could just say that's the canon, though, if you think about it, because they, the AUG and the Titans were already Federation splinters in their own respect. One being reformist, the other one being Zeon. Well, actually, no, wait. Then we have to ask the question of, like, why are you fighting the Titans if the Titans idolize Zeon? Oh, this actually creates a new question, doesn't it? Crap. AU can just be, you know, like, can still be the AU, just a splinter faction, but what would the Titans be? What if the Titans are, like, now a Zeon faction, but now they're, like, the AU? Ooh. What if Zeon just made the Titans anyways? Actually, I feel like that would make more sense. They're like, we need to have a special forces that keep security on Earth. Ooh. So you're just still fighting splinter factions either way, though, I suppose, is... Then attack Luna too. Luna 2, my second favorite Luna. That's such a... They didn't need to do this. By which I mean, like, I don't really see even much of a point in having done it, but, like, yeah, that's kind of neat that you can make the gun go out a little, I suppose. Ooh. Just look at that. You can like see maybe a few pixels of that. Look at that. You see that little piece of gray? Now you don't. Now you do. Now you don't. Now you do. What the fuck are we doing? Ooh. We're doing a laid-back Wednesday stream is what we're doing. Before we have to do terrible karaoke tomorrow. Let's go to... But I can't talk about that. I'm gonna get canceled if I talk about that. I don't even know why I bothered writing that down. That is just a bad idea to talk about, Merrick. No, we are... No. Why would I write that down? Oh, hey, here's information that would get me canceled faster than you could believe it. Let's talk about that. No. Ooh. Actually, though, does make me think of the fact just, how much drama there always is in VTubing. Like, there's constant drama in VTubing, and there's still drama now. But compared to the start of the year, holy crap, it almost feels like there's no drama now. The start of this year was so insane for drama. It was just every other week, just something was happening. And then there would be a rumor, and then before the rumor could be confirmed, something random would happen, and nobody would care about the rumor anymore. And it, oh my god. Yay, karaoke. It ain't gonna sound good. Yeah, I am not Area Lulu. It ain't gonna sound good. I'm just gonna be honest with you on that one. But I'm happy you're a little excited for it. But, oh my lord. It's actually kind of hard to think of all the drama that happened this year because there's just so much that happened so quickly. You could even consider Gargura graduating as drama, as a form of drama. But I remember when I was like, guys, probably nothing will happen of it when she posted the fish on the Sawa account. And then she graduated, and I was like, I said probably, I didn't say for certain nothing would happen. Okay, I was about to say, like, Haman is like, surely she's rebelling. Yeah, Haman. Ooh. I don't really feel like you can contextualize that any other way. Haman rebelled and then said, like, I don't like you, side, whatever side Zeon is. Now I'm gonna go to Earth and throw rocks at it in a colony. And it's like, wait, what? I hope people are still destroying the Earth. I hope even though, like, Zeon is centered in space and you should be doing stuff in space, I really hope that, like, still a lot of environmental damage is happening to Earth just constantly. Ooh. I hope people are still throwing... God, everyone just throws a colony. Is it really a Gundam show if there's just not a colony being thrown or somebody's not trying to throw a rock at Earth? Kind of wonder what people think on Earth at this point of how often just shit gets thrown at them. They're probably like the taxi driver. They're like, well, it kind of sucks that, you know, Earth isn't the best place to live, but I can't live anywhere else. So if a rock gets thrown at me, I guess a rock gets thrown at me. Fucking still my favorite part of Hathaway, just the taxi driver. That's like, cool, that's some cool philosophy, bro, but I'm poor. And then Hathaway goes, shit, I didn't think about that. The whole of the world in America specifically is getting more and more radical to the both sides of the political spectrum. Yeah, it gave people a lot of freedom, but one of the most annoying things is that there's just a lot of annoying and, like, there's a lot of people who don't leave their, like, shit beliefs at the door, who come in and want to, like, you know, spread it into VTubing, and it's like, no. People are sick and tired of, like, this, like, everything having to be, like, you can have a political space, but they are sick and tired of everything being political, and they just want to enjoy just, like, this cute character going, that's what they want. And that's why they freaking despise Pipkin Pippa so much. Because Pippa, she's not political, but she's very obviously not their guy. And for that reason alone, they hate her. And so they just go after her relentlessly. And it's just like, but again, it's ineffectual because Pippa isn't political. They want to make everything, they want everything to be radicalized. They want to dry division. And then you just have this pink Pinoy, or, you know, like this silly, you know, like horse girl, or what have you. Like or like who just won't be political. They're just like, yeah, I have my own personal beliefs, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to entertain you. And that's why I respect them so much. That's why I respect people like Tomoe Umari and Pipkin Pippa, because they're not here. Because they're here in spite of politics. They're here to entertain, not to preach, and fucking love that about them. Ooh. Let's see here. What piece am I missing? E. That's D, Merrick. Here's E. Destroy Char, that crash out fail, girl. Ooh. No, just like have Char win. Have Char win. Char declared war. God damn it! Just like everyone's just like, everyone is just rebelling against you. Damn. You only watch American politics for the memes. Sound like the best way to do it. Not gonna lie. Sounds like a really good way to do it. Full real talk. Okay. Damn it! I saw where that went, luckily. But it went into like a pile of sprue bits. Okay, there it is. Ooh. There we go. Yeah. It's annoying because a lot of people want things to get worse. They want people to get more radical and shit, and it's just so annoying. Let's see here. Oh, is there another one I'm supposed to cut off? Another C? Another cap? I don't know. The Das Right thing is a the Das Right is something we've talked about on the stream before. That's the Black Hebrew Israelites who are related to the Nation of Islam. Not related to Islam, by the way. I know it's called the Nation of Islam. No relation to Islam. And you might be like, well, how do we know it doesn't have any relation to Islam? Well, they believe that Muhammad came before Moses. And I'm pretty sure any Muslims in the audience, hell, everyone in the audience just probably went like, wait, what the fuck did they just say? Muhammad came before Moses. They believe that. They're little silly people. Ooh, the Nation of Islam. But the Black Hebrew Israelites are also similar, but the Black Hebrew Israelites believe that, like, Jews are not Jews, but they are usurpers. And they are the real Jews, and they took the title of Jews from black people. And so they are the true Israelites, hence why they're called the Black Hebrew Israelites. They're the real Hebrews. You might be like, what does that make Jews? I don't know. I don't know what Jews are to them, but like, they're not Jews anymore. They're the real Jews. Ooh, it's very fun. Both sides has horrible people. There's a... Ooh. Do not compare Kirsha to Hassan. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't make that comparison at all. Kirsha is fucking slandered to all hell. I would recommend you do not make that comparison, because pretty much people either they just misquote her and take her out of context all the time. Absolutely not. Kirsha actually has a fucking deep hatred for shit like racial discrimination, and like whether it's against like whoever the discrimination is against. She has always come out against it. She always hates it. She's not trying to like push people to more radical positions. In fact, she reaches out to people to stop them from being isolated and radicalized. I would absolutely not compare at all Kirsha Verstal to Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker is just doing his shit just because he's a useful idiot for like a greater like political cause. He is literally what you would call a useful idiot. While Kirsha is a person who doesn't want to talk about politics, but she's constantly pushed to talk about it because because things keep getting infected that she doesn't want them to. She actually is the opposite of that. I would not compare her to that at all. Ooh, there are shitheads on the right. There are fucking awful people on the right. But you are not going to get any agreement on saying one of them is Kirsha if that's what you are saying. Ooh. Like, Kirsha always asks for a dialogue, always asks to, like, you know, talk through things. And what people do is they have things like, oh, KK Kirsha. And KK Kirsha is not something that Kirsha has ever done. Nobody has in her community has ever called themselves KK Kirsha. That's what people who hate Kirsha call Kirsha, to slander her. And then they're like, well, she calls herself that. Like, everything is just a game of telephone. Her saying, oh hey, Keir Starmer has said that Keir Starmer got up on television and said, oh hey, there was a directed initiative by the English government to supplement population decline with immigration. And then what happened is that she was like, well, okay, he said that. And then people were like, she believes that Jews are trying to like destroy Europe. And it's like, at no point, she didn't even say anything. What happened was Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England, said shit, and she fucking showed it. And Keir Starmer is a fucking Labour Party. He's a leftist. Sorry, it's just... Ooh. I should get off of this line of topic, but I do not like slander and misinformation in that regard. Ooh. Actually, I was off, so I'm actually gonna... Ooh, conservatives scare you? They shouldn't scare you, because the average conservative is just some fucking dude, in all honesty. It's like, just like how the average leftist is just some dude, in all honesty, and I think I did this wrong. There, I corrected it. It's the far out people. It's the 5 to 8% of the total population who want to radicalize you and make you feel afraid, whether they're on the right or left. It's who's that piece of shit who's like a complete grifter who sucked Destiny's dick? What's his name? Spencer. Spencer is a complete fucking shitbird. Spencer literally just says what he says for like whatever is the most convenient thing to say at the time. Richard Spencer, complete piece of shit. Ooh. And like that's actually, Richard Spencer is way worse than Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker's an idiot, but fucking Spencer knows what he's doing, and he's fucking awful for it. Howdy, Gail. Sorry, we've been on a bit of a topic. I'm a little bit behind. Ooh. Let me try to catch up with the chat real quick. Yeah, you can disagree with her, and she's not right on everything. There's shit that I disagree with her on. Ooh. Yeah, she's nowhere near as bad she's nowhere near as bad as Hassan. Ooh. But one of the biggest problems is, again, that people just spread misinformation about her, which makes her look a lot worse. And it's really annoying. Yeah, I know about the Brandon Herrera. Brandon Herrera is a VTuber well, he does guns and whatnot. Ooh, let's get this on. Sorry, I didn't mean to like go after you or anything, by the way, Ricey. It's just something that I just see that a lot, just the misinformation, and it's just the comparison I just did not appreciate, by the way. I'm sorry if you felt like I went after you in any way. This is the closest controversial right-leaning I can think of. Tate isn't right-wing. Tate's just a fucking moron. He's one of those, like, Tate probably fucking tries to be... Tate's a fucking idiot. And I'm not saying that to be, like, the right to... Again, Richard Spencer says he's on the right. We're gonna say he's on the right. Again, like, it's the extremes that you want to care about. Tate is he's a fucking potato. His name is Tate, and and his head looks like a potato. Fuck that guy. But if you want to go as just a complete shitbird, you will never fail with Richard Spencer, and everyone hates him because Richard Spencer is a piece of shit who literally indoctrinates his audience into like just using rhetoric, and it's really funny, and it can be funny when his audience will repeat the rhetoric back at him, and he just has to sit there and be like, ah, shit, like I have trained a horde of retards, and they all just know how to say the same thing back to me. But outside of that, he's just being a complete a-hole, and ooh. Like he literally, like, wants to, like, he promotes, like, the support of political candidates to make things worse. Like, in 2020, he was like, vote for Kamala Harris. Not because he thought Kamala Harris was the better choice, but because he thought things would get worse under her, which would help him politically. Fucking absolute piece of shit. Not to say like that's true. His theory that like, oh, you know, like vote, like he's an accelerationist is what the term is. He's awful. He's fucking, he's a shitbird. Ooh. Brandon Herrera is not a VTuber, but it would be kind of cool if he was. No, Brandon Herrera, I think he's in Texas. He's a gunsmith, I believe, and he has a... What is this? Is this just... Oh, okay, there's an arm. I was like, how does this connect to the... Okay. There's a holding arm for it. It's gonna be weird how we're gonna be building everything else. No, he's like a gunsmith VTuber. He likes guns, and he wants to, like, defend the Second Amendment effectively is all he cares about. He's like, you know, one of those channels like Kentucky Ballistics or whatnot. That's one of those guys who's just having fun time firing guns, being like, look at this, and then like exploding like a watermelon or something, you know? Ooh, fun time. Tay is an opportunity. Tay is literally just preying upon the fact that there's a bunch of insecure men, and he'll say whatever rhetoric is most, a bunch of insecure men in the modern world, and he'll say whatever is the most profitable thing for like his own bottom line. I am not even gonna say his stuff. Accelerationists are the fucking worst. Ooh. I don't really watch a lot of Brandon Herrera. I watch a lot of Kentucky Ballistics. Kentucky Ballistics is a fun dude. Brandon Herrera is a little bit more. Brandon Herrera will literally be like, I made this gun, and you're like, that's really cool of you. Kentucky Ballistics will be like, I have a real life reconstruction of a Tyrannosaurus skull, and it's like, oh, wait, what? I'm gonna shoot it, and it's just like, God bless America, land that I love. It's just, yeah, both of them make goofy shit, but if you want like somebody firing into gremlins and whatnot, you go to like Kentucky Ballistics. Ooh. I must have misspoke. Like in today's short, I noticed that instead of saying minigun, I said mini game. And I was just like, you know what? It kind of fits. So I just didn't edit it in the subtitles. I just made it so I still said mini game. Ooh. This looks like a shotgun almost. I know that when like the rest of the weapon goes on, but like before the outer casing for this particle beam gun, I don't know, that kind of looks like a shotgun to me. Hold up, let me hold it like this. This top part kind of look like a shotty. Reminds me a little bit of the Halo shotty, actually, I think is what I'm thinking of. I think it's what I'm thinking of. That's great English, Merrick. Keep going. You're doing a good job there, buddy. Actually, I don't know if I even grabbed the right part. What did I cut off? Because I don't see what I cut off anywhere in these instructions. But you are right on one thing, and that is again that both sides have shit heels on them, and you need to make sure people don't listen to the shit heels. Ooh. Let's see here. That is true. That is true. I saw that video where also I've not been spooky all stream, but that is true. He did make like a 50 caliber AK-47, which is just like, why? And it's like, cause it's cool. Good enough excuse that, you know what? That's a good enough reason. I'm sorry for asking. But then yeah, like Call of Duty did just lift the design. Ooh. It's kind of sad that he can't do anything about that. Ooh. Because this, like, Call of Duty just has more lawyers and just have bottomless pockets because it's, like, Activision or whatever it is. I cannot read that fucking for the life of me. Oh, okay, that's the gun channel. I can't even remember. I can't even... Ooh, I can read mouse. Der Maus. Is it German? Tauf Ledermaus. Tauf Ledermaus. Tofledermaus. Tofledermaus. Bat! That means bat in German, doesn't it? You want to know how I know you want to know how I know that means bat in German? Because there's a character in the Tick called Deflatermaus, and he is a Batman, and he's a Batman parody. Ooh. Oh my god, Deflater. Thank you, Tick, for teaching me how to say Deflatermaus. I don't know why his name is Bat, but thank you, Autism. Cool, very cool of you. I salute you. God, I just want to finish. Oh, okay. So this goes on this one. So maybe it is like a beam shotgun. You had bottomless veterans. Got back to TFCon the other day. And oh boy, Chicago pilots can't, no. To be fair, the pilot probably wasn't from Chicago, but I know, I mean, there's a... You didn't fly Delta, did you? If you flew Delta, that's your own fault, to be honest. Turbulence isn't really something you can do much about. Like, I know you can, like, change altitude, but, like, if it's just, like, the flight... If the flight has to go through a certain altitude, it has to go through a certain altitude, sadly. But yeah, turbulence can be a bitch. Flight attendants were saying... This one, oh, okay, well, that's not... The flight assistant should not be saying that. Even if, like, they're, like, feeling nervous, or even if they're trying to, like, you know, make a joke, the flight attendant should not be like, oh, we're gonna die. That's, like, that is the one thing the flight attendants are specifically not supposed to do. But I'll mix it up with the fuck. Ooh. They test shotgun shells, but it's again, it's just that is. It really is actually. I went backwards because I actually I was like mouse. That's German for mouse, and then I was like later. I was like that sounds like. I was like, well, if it's German, that would mean like it'd be like, you know, that would be later, and then I'd be like, okay, so that's Taufledermaus, and then it just clicked to me that it was I didn't know that his shield was a gun. Huh. But it just clicked to me that that's like, oh, wait a second, Deflatermaus. My eyes sparkled. I got to talk about the Tick for a moment. The Tick's so good. Ooh. It's just, it's the idea of having a character who has super strength and invulnerability, except for his brain, is such a good concept. So every time he gets brain damage, it's the one part of his body that can get damaged is his brain. So he just constantly gets brain damage, and he just gets, and so he's just a mental invalid effectively. But he's like, I'm gonna be a superhero, and he makes speeches that are incoherent, but and make no sense because he just has massive brain damage. It's just. Oh god, the Tick is such a good love letter and parody of superheroes. If you haven't like read or seen the Tick, and you want to like just a bit of a cult classic, you would not fail. Spoon. Spoon is actually his battle cry because there's actually an I'm sure it's like the same in the comic, but in an episode of the cartoon, he's like, Arthur, which is his sidekick just goes by his normal name, just Arthur the sidekick. He's a Mothman, but everyone thinks he's a bunny because when his wings aren't out, he just his rostrums, you know, the antenna of a moth, just look like bunny ears. So everyone's just like, who's the big bunny man? And he's just like, I'm a moth. But there's an episode where it's like, we need battle cries, chum, and he like refers to all of his friends as chum because he's an old superhero effectively. And it's like, something inspiring, like, and he's just eating cereal. Spoon. That doesn't really inspire me, Tick. Nonsense, chum. I don't think there's been a version of the Tick that I haven't loved, in all honesty. Both live actions, the cartoon, the comic, they're all just so fun. United Airlines, I don't know how bad that is. Honestly, I know that I really need to see Chainsaw Man. I've heard really good things about it. I'm kind of sad that I have like zero... I have almost an interest in the movie, but I have like no interest in Chainsaw Man, so I'm just like, well, what's really the point in watching the movie if I don't really give a damn about if I don't really give a damn about Chainsaw Man to begin with? Ooh, it kind of feels dumb to say that though, because like the Broly movie is really fun to watch, and even if you don't like Dragon Ball, even if you thought Dragon Ball Super wasn't good, which it wasn't, the Broly movie is so much fun. Ooh, I would actually recommend the Broly movie because it's just, at one point in the movie, they just give up and start singing the characters' names. There's unironically, I remember in the theater too, that I will never forget when I was watching it in the theater, and the music just went, go, Gogeta, go, Gogeta, Broly, and it's just like, this is fucking, we have reached the zenith of soundtrack design. We can't get better than this. It's like in Godzilla King of the Monsters, when the legendary King of the Monsters, it's like in that movie when it's just us going go Zilla. More also Fantastic Four does that. I don't really care for the movie, but like the theme is literally just fantastic. Ooh. We need more songs that are literally just the title of the fucking movie, that are just the characters' names being sung. We need more of that, because it's so stupid, but it also gets you hyped so fucking much. Ain't Luke Cage like that? He got knocked at shotgun blast in his head. I don't know. I feel like brain damage isn't enough to explain Luke Cage. Wait, sorry. Luke Cage might be like that. I thought of Nicolas Cage. I was like, hey, listen, Nicolas Cage has a lot of problems. I don't think we can blame the brain damage. Was it Busey? David Busey? Is it David Busey or whatever? Busey got brain damage. He fell off a motorcycle and he just got crazy. Oh god, but he got really inventive insults though out of it, so it's all good. He once told a man he'd rip his endocrine system out. If you don't know what that is, that's part. Your sweat glands are part of your endocrine system. You physically cannot rip it out. He threatened a man though that he would. And I think, in all honesty, if any human being could rip out another person's endocrine system, it would be Gary Busey. It's Gary Busey. It'd be Gary Busey. He's fucking crazy. He has horse teeth. I love Busey, man. He was such a good actor before the accident, and then he became such a crazy actor after the accident. It's such a good time. His son also has horse teeth. If you've seen Starship Troopers, the like 6'4" guy with blonde hair and horse teeth, that's Busey's son. He's also a Busey. You can tell a Busey because they all have freakish horse teeth. They all look like they could like eat an apple with one bite. Fucking monster people. But anywho, got to meet the amazing people. Yeah, I heard in the hotel lobby you got to meet somebody very special, it sounds like. Great voice actors. Got to meet VAs in Armada, Starscream, Cyberverse Prowl, Cyberverse Hot Rod, damn, you got to meet a lot. Why am I speaking with a fucking accent right now? Wait the fucking moment. Wait a fuck. Let's roll it back real quick. Why is this happening? Ah. Okay, just 12 episodes. You could probably watch like 3 episodes in an hour. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, I think I missed the recommendation, or I forgot it because oh, Chainsaw Man is only 12 episodes. Huh? Yeah, but I still have chat. it's been like 3 months and I haven't like finished Gundam X, and that's 20 episodes left. So you're like, it's only 12 episodes. I haven't watched the second half of Hamilton yet, chat. That's only like an hour and a half. Okay, you're like, it's not that long. You can do it. No, I can't. No, I can't. I have so many things I need to finish watching, sadly, before I can start anything else. Oh my god. It's like, why don't you just watch Gundam X? Because every time I'm like, okay, let me do something else. Gundam X is so good, but I get distracted with bullshit constantly. Let me see here. I'm looking for the D20. 30. Oh, 20. Oh, 20's already been cut off, you freaking idiot. You idiot! Dexter's Laboratory. Pretty good stuff. Does the line of him calling his sister an idiot, so simple, but like, it's so satisfying. Didi, you idiot! He also had an accent for no apparent reason. Why are people getting accents for no reason? Gary, yeah. I got there eventually. Ooh. Oh god, it was no, I can believe that it was inspired by Brazil. But that's a circle of life. Because think about how much Dragon Ball has inspired Brazil, Mexico, just Latin America in general. Don't let those Portuguese bastards in Brazil know that I called them Latin Americans. Not because because they're gonna kill me, okay? I don't want one to come to my house and give me a Brazilian smile. That's what the Joker has, effectively. That's when you cut somebody, you put a knife in their mouth and you cut upward until you get to the ear, and then you do it to the other side. A Brazilian smile. Ooh. I don't want one of those though, chat. So don't tell them that I called them Latin. Because I think they don't like it when you call them that. Ooh. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I've seen what they've done on the MMO servers, chat. They scare me. I like how I appreciate the fact that this is on, that you can put on, if I can fucking fit it on. Okay, why is it not going on? Because I'm being dumb. But I appreciate that you can put on this like little Vulcan cannon that's in like one scene in one episode. Very cool of you. Oh, the asshole song is... Shit, the asshole... I know the asshole song, but that's not Busey. That is... Or, wait. Am I getting Gary Busey and... No. Gary Busey is the one with brain damage, so asshole song. But asshole song is a comedian. Asshole song. Dennis Leary? Or... yeah, Dennis Leary. Dennis Leary. It's Dennis. I just searched it. Dennis Leary. Yes. The asshole song is very fun. I drive really slow in the ultra fast lane while people behind me are going insane. I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole. Ooh. The asshole song is pretty good. If we do American karaoke, I'll do the asshole song. A. Uh-oh. Did I already cut off this piece? Are we already messing up big time? God, the threes on these sprues look just like... Here they are. Okay, look just like... I hate how the threes look. The threes on this sprue look like eights to me for some reason. Ooh, okay, let me try to catch up real quick. David K is a who? I've always heard good things about him. But getting a big hug from Michael Dobson. Oh, damn, will always be... That does sound nice. Okay. And then let's catch up. Feel Uma Musume kind of make people less scared of horses. You should be scared of them more. Yeah, they are powerful. Horses are pretty fucking... I rode a horse once, chat. Would not recommend it. Fucking... absolutely hated it. But that's because I didn't... like, I wasn't in the saddle correctly, so... every time the horse moved up and down, my nuts were just getting fucking, like... they were just getting fucking speed bagged by the, when the horse was running, my nuts were just being speed bagged by the saddle. It's just fucking horrible. It's like that scene from Scrubs, if you've ever seen Scrubs. But JD, the main character, gets horses for like a romantic evening with his girlfriend. But they're like, the horses have no saddles. So he ends up like damaging his testicles because from the horses galloping. And the fucking... and the date has to be called off because of it. Horses are evil, even when they're like fucking... I say this, my Kamiyoshi's a horse. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm a headless horse man. Oh, wait a minute. 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 You see, this is why I'm rebranding. I need... This is why I'm rebranding, though. I need more consistency. Goes the Brazilian wax. Ooh. A full Brazilian where... I don't know. Do Brazilians actually just go like, you know what? Just take off everything? Or is it like, you know... is it one of those things that's just misattributed? I wonder. Year Brazil lost to Germany in soccer. We just had to... did it go silent for Inter? That's like fucking... oh my god, if you ever want to piss off a Texas fan in a college Texas fan, a Longhorns fan, it's so easy. It's so easy to piss off a fucking Texas fan. All you need to do is fucking horns down, because they're always like horns high, you know. They're always like, where are the Longhorns? They just go, hey, horns down, and they just fucking they're just like, fuck you, you know. It's just like, where's that Southern hospitality? Horns down. You can't go around being like, we're the best thing to ever live, we're the best football team ever, and then all I have to do to make you pissy and like lose your shit is just do this. If all I have to do is this, yeah, no, you're not the best team. I hate to say it, but probably the best team is Alabama, because it's fucking Bama. I hate Alabama, but I have to admit, Alabama, you're just like, you try to make fun of them, and they just go like, yeah, that's cool. What was our last match? Oh, what's that? We beat you by 40 points? Yeah, shut the fuck up. You know, Alabama can do that. Fuck Alabama. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. And I think that's all the weapons, so we can just be ready for next time. How much time do we have? We're like 2.5. What can we do for 2.5? Horses are bad. I mean, look at how many times Merrick hit a tree and got... I don't know. That was actually going to be a short, there was actually going to be a Red Dead horse short this week. I don't have a clip of that though, but there are a few times where I've just run into trees like a dumbass. But the one where my horse just like goes around in a circle and I get thrown off the horse, that was gonna be a clip this week, but I just decided not to for some reason. Ooh. Let's see here. Armada Starscream was always a comfort for you. Ah, yeah, you've mentioned that before. You were aww. That's really nice, actually. I've seen clips of mares one-shotting stallions when they tried to mount them, and the horse owner, Jesus Christ. That's why a lot of times they do the, like, you know, in vitro fertilization with horses and whatnot. But yeah, if you're not careful, like, a horse can do that, and normally in the circumstance, like, the male horse could probably, I wouldn't say dodge it, but like not die from it. But the male horse is probably being let in, so he can't, like, there's probably limited maneuverability, so he can just get like, you know, beamed because of it. We also have to think, like, if that male horse was being bred, especially if it was a race horse. This is why they do in vitro fertilization for race horses, but yeah, you got to be real careful with that, because that horse could cost like fucking millions of dollars depending on what it is, because it can breed so many horses. Usually horses aren't that expensive. Usually most horses aren't race horses though. Here's this, and let us get back out the Nightingale, and we can finish off with the Nightingale. This is something long overdue, because this got damaged months ago. Let me... Okay, I have to take this out a little. Hey, Opus. Okay. Oh, I trained horses. Oh, I'm so great. I'm not afraid of horses. Horses fear me. Oh, I'm the greatest thing ever, says Opus. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm a farm man. I fear no animal. They fear me. Oh my god, I'm so amazing. Holy shit. Well, that is pretty neat. Well, I'm just not a fan of horses IRL, just because I just haven't had really all that good experience with them. Okay, that is more than deep enough. Let's dry fit it. Goldship is goated, because Goldship literally was a male horse that bred, but all the Uma Musumes are girls. But Goldship was literally like a stallion in every term of the word. Like, he would just like not listen to his, like, if he didn't want to race, he just like kind of didn't. Like, if there were female horses that like would not put out for other like horses, Goldship would walk in and they'd be like, okay, mount me, big boy. It's just like Goldship is literally the type of horse that like 2,000 years ago would inspire like something like Sleipnir. They'd be like, this is the real life Sleipnir, the horse of Odin. He must be descended from a godly horse. Can I, like, take you off, please? Can I take the torso off? I built this so long ago, I don't know how. Okay. There's so much to deal with in this guy. Okay. Is that the problem? That might be the problem. Okay. Okay, I've done the dry fitting. Ooh. I think the angle is a little off, just very slightly, but that's way too much super glue. Okay. Shit. Shit. Sorry for cursing. I need to change out my gloves real quick. I got a large amount of super glue on the glove, so I couldn't use it to adjust anything. Goldship is smooth as fuck. Oh my god. Well, let's not compare him to Genghis Khan. Because Genghis Khan wasn't... Ooh. Those weren't really consensual. But he probably genetically speaking is the Genghis Khan of fucking... of horses with all the progeny he's going to have. Ooh, the horsey hated you. Oh, hated men. I thought you said hated me. And would bite. Yeah, sometimes horses, especially mares, just fucking hate men. Ooh. Ooh. That's actually true for a lot of animals. Sometimes there's like female dogs that just despise men for some reason. I don't know why that is. Jesus Christ, 2,000, like, what, 2,200 horses. That's amazing. That Glock does something other than making Glocks and had something to do with horses. What do they have to do with horses? Did Glock invent horses? Did they invent horses in 1864? Before that, we just had oversized ponies. We are the apex predators until we go into the water. Then there's these assholes known as orcas, and they like to sink ships now for shits and giggles. They're like, what is that, a sailboat? I bet I can sink it, and they do. It's only like one pod of them, so as long as you're not like near that pod of like orcas, it's fine. But like, yeah, apparently they've decided to go to war with us. I say we kill them all. Okay? They've sunken a sail ship. I say we kill them all, chat. We need to teach the orcas a lesson. They've had it too good for too long. That's true. So it might just be like, you know, likes and dislikes. It also might just be like what they've seen. Maybe there was just an asshole dude. Maybe there was just like an asshole owner they had in the past or something. A lot of times, sometimes like with the dogs, it's like because their owner was abused by a guy, so they just like are fearful of guys, just like how the owner is fearful of guys. Horse insemination. I love how that's just what I know the bigger context of that, but I love how that's just put by itself. Horse insemination. Let me say it again, horse insemination. Yes. I will say though, and I've said this before, horse girls are cool. Centaurs, no. You're just into bestiality and in denial. Let's fucking be real for a moment. If you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, in the monster girl anime, you're like, yeah, I want the centaur girl. You are a freak, okay? You might be like, well, what about like the mermaid girl? Isn't that also bestiality? Probably, but you can at least, you know, like, you can at least still reach the human part of the monster girl. On the horse girl, you cannot reach the, like, while you're going at it, you cannot reach the human half. If you cannot reach the human half, you're just into bestiality, okay? Real talk. Real talk with Merrick Vesper. You're Vosh. Never go full Vosh. When is Hassan Piker going to fight? What's his name again? I forgot his name. What's that balding dude who's really funny? Who said he's going to like kill Hassan Piker? Not in the ring. He's going to stalk him and wear his skin like his Gaelic ancestors. Hassan Piker! I'm going to kill you! I'm just saying all this to try to remember. Sam Hyde! Yes! When is Hassan Piker going to fight Sam Hyde? We need it. No! Like, you mean like, you mean in the ring? No! In real life! I love the Kier version of that with Pipkin Pippa, where she's like, Pipkin Pippa, I'm coming to kill you! I'm going to wear your makeup and wear your ears like ancient fox girls of old. Irish blood. Free Willy. I have never seen Free Willy, but the thing whenever somebody brings up Free Willy, I always think of is in Robot Chicken, they made the joke of Free Willy not making the jump and just landing on the child. And so anytime I just think of that. Orca, though, I do know of, and I want to watch it. It's a, it's pretty much Jaws, but what if whale? The stream started off slow, but we've gotten to the point where it's just us yelling random shit. Clock CEO name is Gaston Glock in it. Oh my god. I like how people are like, you know, Gaston's not such a bad guy, but then somebody was like, hold up. Look at him putting his feet on the book. That's kind of bad, isn't it? And then other people are like, wait. If you think about it, Belle's kind of a bitch. And I hate to say this because I actually love, the person has a bit of a point. Is that meme of, from Emperor's New Groove, like, hold up, he has a point. But, the guy's like, Belle is kind of a bitch because, like, she's actually kind of the bad guy because she has this rural life that she could be happy with this, like, with Gaston, who isn't a bad person necessarily, but she wants to go off and, like, marry this, you know, like, of course they're, like, recontextualizing it, but it's like she wants, like, her storybook ending is getting a prince who's handsome and living happily ever after, and like, oh yeah, like, oh, but she has to make the prince handsome. Yeah, she can fix him. It's literally like the ultimate girl fantasy of I can fix him. She gets to be a monster fucker and the satisfaction of I can fix him. And it's just like, oh, they kind of have a point there. Belle, probably my favorite Disney princess. Yeah, you're not right, but the way you're saying it, you kind of have a point. Free Willy's a fucking hilarious name. Ooh, and yes, and you cannot convince me that Willy was not slang at the time for peen. Candyman, ancient Irish. Fucking, I was thinking of when he said Candyman was the one black guy from the horror film with the hook hand, who, like, they rewrite the origin story of every movie. They're like, he was a slave. No, he was like a painter who, like, fell in love with, like, a white woman, but, like, the man's father was a slave owner and killed him. No, some other bullshit. And it's like, why are you reinventing the origin of Candyman every time? It's like, well, because Candyman's entire, like, story, like, hinges on him haunting you because he's related to you in some way, because you're related to his past. And it's like, so they have to, like, rewrite his past for every movie so it makes sense in the movie. It's like, that's fucking stupid. Why don't you just make one movie? Because it's horror. We have to make 500 shitty sequels. Oh, if you're sad because you miss your dog, listen to All Dead by Queen. It's literally a song dedicated to losing your pet. It's a song that Brian May wrote about his childhood cat, and it's a really beautiful song. The old Dachshund, was protective of women and would straight up go for jugular of men. Yeah, little dogs especially fucking sometimes hate dudes. That might just be because, like, dudes are big, though. It might also just be a size thing. It's like, here's a dainty woman, and it's like, cool. And then it's just like, here's something that, like, weighs, like, a third more and is, like, way wider in frame. And it's like, I don't like that thing. That thing doesn't look right. Ooh, the prince. Oh. My autism is acting up way too fucking much, because when you said the prince, my brain immediately went to Machiavelli, and I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense, Merrick, but now because my brain is on Machiavelli, I can't think of anything else, and I'm like, wait. Prince in the Revolution. He's not talking about fucking Prince in the Revolution. My brain is doing that autist thing where it's like it won't let me think of what you're actually talking about because it's like, look, jangling keys. He said Prince. Okay? You love Raspberry Beret. He's not talking about Raspberry Beret, but think about Raspberry Beret instead. This is red like a Raspberry Beret. Think about it. I don't need somebody off-screen jangling keys. I don't need Markiplier going, ah! Ooh, actually, wait, no, I do need Markiplier. I literally do need, I need Markiplier going, hey, jangle keys. Pay attention. That's actually a really good video where he's explaining something, and like every 15 seconds he jangles keys whenever he gets like too deep into a topic. He's like, pay attention. The villain was very careful about granting wishes because he knows that blessing can be a curse, and the protag says it's not fair to overthrows him. The thing is that like Disney movies have like the kernel of something interesting in them, but they can't be like, they can't have anything more complex. Nothing can have any edge to it. And like when I say an edge, I don't mean like a sharp edge. I don't mean like this X-Acto knife. I mean you can't have an edge like this wing. This right here is too much of an edge for modern movies, as a metaphorically speaking. It's like everything has to be soft and rounded on a narrative level, and it's god-awful. I cannot stand it at all. Where's my screw? But yeah, it's just, but also like the messaging is also borked and everything. Cause like because they're just like, no, you're wrong, we can have everything. And it's just like, no, you literally can't have everything. It's like the whole philosophy that like you're perfect the way you are. No, humans are imperfect. That's what makes it, that's what makes us allowed to strive for perfection. We can never achieve perfection, but we can always strive for it. And we can strive for it because we are inherently imperfect to begin with. But when you're just like, you're perfect the way you are, that means there's no possibility for growth. There's no capacity to improve yourself. And at that point, what's the point of living at that point if you're just a rock, why are you really alive, is what they're saying. Like, if you're perfect the way you are, you're no better than a fucking rock at that point. But even a rock can be, even a piece of marble can be broken and made into something beautiful. So you're lesser than a rock. You're literally fucking nothing if you're perfect the fucking way you are. Fucking hate that philosophy so much. But that kind of philosophy and so much has just screwed over people's perception. Sorry for cursing so much. Saw at least is funny at times, like Final Destination. Final Destination, the deaths get so funny. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Brian May is amazing. Except for that, like, adultery thing, but we don't talk about that. Gary kept... Oh, God, the early seasons of SpongeBob having, like, just randomly musical numbers and them just being good is just... Like, Just a Rusty Spatula, the one where Mr. Krabs sells off SpongeBob. Because Gary Comes Home is good, but, like, in where Mr. Krabs sells off SpongeBob and, like, he bets SpongeBob and loses him to Plankton. And they just have a whole musical number about how, like, SpongeBob misses the Krusty Krab and how Mr. Krabs misses SpongeBob. And then, like, it finishes with, like, them as ghosts, like, astral projecting out of, like, the chum bucket and the Krusty Krab. And it's just like, it's obviously like a parody of like Disney Renaissance like musical numbers, but it's like done so genuinely. You're just like, yeah, no, this is unironically good. It's just a rusty spoon without you. I so fucking god hope it's actually Clancy Brown, the guy who voices Mr. Krabs singing. I still need to see Princess and the Frog. All of this has reminded me. Now that's another thing I can add to the list that I'm never gonna get to. I find it interesting how the only song I can sing from start to finish is It's a Great Day to Whoop Somebody's Ass. Have you ever had one of those days where nothing goes right? Your wife starts bitching about whatever it was she was bitching about last night. So you escape into the bathroom to sit there upon your throne. But when you finish your business, you find the toilet paper's gone. Oh, it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. It's a bad day, so you better get off my back. You might get cold cocked if you cross my path. 'Cause it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. I was running late for work, so I poured me some coffee to go. And right before I got a flat tire, I spilled it all over my clothes. When I saw the highwayman pull up, I thought help was on the way. But when he saw the tie tool in my hand, he shot me with pepper spray. Oh, it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. It's a bad day, so you better get off my back. You might get cold cocked if you cross my path. 'Cause it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. When I finally made it to work, I was 15 minutes late. I told my boss about the flat tire, but he fired me anyway. So here I am out in the parking lot, just waiting by his Corvette. I'm gonna give him a goodbye present he ain't never gonna forget. 'Cause it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. It's a bad day, so you better get off my back. You might get cold cocked if you cross my path. 'Cause it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. That is not the first time we've sung that whole thing on stream. Japan has been a belief wabi sabi, which beauty within imperfection and find is much better. Well, I mean, fucking humans being inherently imperfect is like a core tenet of like Christianity. Ooh. As well, like it's a philosophy that's like found all over the world. Ooh. And it's just the modern thing of just like everything is perfect the way it is. It's just like it's a stagnant belief. It's saying that if you're perfect the way you are, that doesn't simply mean you don't have to do better. It means you can't do better. And that's really like the toxicity of it. Bubble Bowl, that's a cover. I forget, Sweet Victory, but yeah, Bubble Bowl is also fucking good. Instead of I was thinking of using a toothpick, but I figured what I just do is just close it up and do this. Ooh. Once I made sure it was flat. Ooh, the hell am I listening to? It's a great day to whoop somebody's ass. I'm not a very good singer, but ooh. If you want to listen to the song sung well, just look it up. It's a great day to whoop somebody's ass. It's actually a really good song. If you ever have a bad morning, if you ever wake up and you're like, my God, I just want to kick somebody's ass because I've just had a really bad morning, just listen to that song and your day will improve unironically. Yeah. But the thing is, like, you can't know everything, so, like, you can't be perfect in that regard. You can't do everything, so you can't be perfect in that regard. Ooh. We're a social species. We come together to fill in our shortcomings. So also, like, saying you're perfect, when you say you're perfect the way you are, you're also in a way saying that you don't need other people, that you can just isolate, because you already are complete. You're already complete within yourself, and it's like, well, no, you're not. Ooh. I mean, for fuck's sake, again, going back to, like, going to theology for this one, but ooh, we're gonna go back to Christianity, but, like, I don't believe the Garden of Eden actually happened, but I do look at it and go like, why is it told? And like one of the biggest things is man and woman is like people. You need two people. Like Adam was made, and what's the first thing that happened? Adam was fucking lonely, so they made another person. Like humans are inherently a social species. It's understood on an inherent subconscious level that like you can't have a human by himself. It's just gonna suck. Ooh. And that is, we've done quite a bit. Okay. So I was building this to fill out that, and I think it's been long enough since I put this on, where I can put on the shoulder. There it is. And with that, ban that tin can. Ooh. That one always puts a smile on your face. Oh, you know what? You're right. I should get rid of that. It's been there for a while. I just don't care. But I should get rid of it. I just didn't want to like roll over my seat. I was too lazy. I want to be super careful about this because I should let it sit for like 24 hours or something to be safe, but... Okay, why aren't you going in? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, it's not that. Okay, so... Okay. Why are you not going in now, is my question. Because there's no, like... Why are you being difficult? Why do you have to, like, not let me end stream? There we go. Okay. Oh. Yeah, it's still coming up a little. Oh, wait, no. Okay, so that part's not meant to be glued in, but maybe I should just be secure. But it's not perfect, and I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work off stream. But we at least proof of concept that it's more secure now, if nothing else. Because in the past, it would just come off completely. But on stream, we did a little touch up on this guy. We did our first ever gunpla repair on stream. We did more of this dude. We mentioned guns and whatnot. Look at all these guns. Look at this stuff. Look at it. Look at all the things that we have. And we have the Psycho Gundam one more time. I'll be building the like funnels and whatnot off stream just because that's gonna be really tedious. Oh, I like how the Nightingale like. Even, God, the Nightingale is such a fat bitch. Fat with a PH. Thick with a Q. But yeah, the Nightingale, I'm happy to have, like, at least partially repaired, if nothing else. But I'm happy you guys could join me for this kind of just pickup stream. Get that clanker! Get that motherfucker! Get that fucking code, monkey! Oh god, it was just like, was it earlier this week or last week where we just started thinking about like slurs for robots? No offense, Shadow. We were just like thinking of fucking slurs. Oh god. There was one that was a play on wetback. Bad term, don't ban me, Twitch. That's a bad term, I'm just using it as an example, but there was like, was it Chromeback? No, that's actually different, but Chromeback is pretty good. Calling him a Chromeback, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. we have invented a new slur against robots. No offense, Shadow. None taken. Let me move chat up real quick. I hope you guys have liked the stream as much as I've enjoyed doing it. Hold up. plastic cement would have been better for a The thing is, I've done plastic cement on that piece before. What I needed to use super glue to hold in you have to use super glue to hold in the metal because it's a anchored point. So I had to create an anchor. So I know what you're saying, but I've already tried plastic cement and it still broke off. So that's actually why we had to anchor it. But you are right. Normally you don't need to do what I did. Normally what I did is excessive. But because it's such a small point and with so little contact, but there's so much like leverage that can come through this shoulder piece that I needed to anchor it and I needed to use super glue, sadly. But you are right. Typically, I might go back and try to use some plastic cement to like connect the plastic together. But again, I needed to. I should have. I don't know if I can actually, but I might try to go back. That might be the second coat. The second coat of adhesive might be plastic cement, now that you mentioned that. YOLO Parks model kits? Ooh, you can send them my way. I mean, you know me, Shadow. The purple boy does look great, and I'm happy I did the extra paint job on like the knees and whatnot to get that to make him even more red. I'm happy. I'm happy that I added more accents to him. I really am. Even if they're not canon. My ass wants to get a YOLO Park Bumblebee movie showcase figure. The Bumblebee movie, actually, the Bumblebee design in that is real clean. Clanker, Star Wars did do Clanker early on. The fucking clones just like, oh god, I hate these robots. Call them clankers. Dirty clankers. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, the Pippa video short did very well. I'm happy to see that. That's not what I want to look at. I want to look at this. Ooh. And you know what? Before we end stream, actually, let me check real quick. So the Zowar, let's see here. Okay, so you have 5 votes. Yeah, I feel like this is unnecessary for me to do, but yeah, I'm looking at the votes right now to see who's in the lead. Okay. Okay, so unless the Zowar or the Gym Master Grade get like 5 votes, no, they need to get 6 votes. Unless they get 6 more votes, we're gonna be building the Space Command tomorrow. Ooh. And if one of them gets 6 more votes overnight, I'm gonna be very fucking suspicious. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't cheat. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna be building the Space Command type, which is this. Ooh. Let's move you. Looks like we're gonna be building this starting next week. But before next week, we have to end this stream, so let me find a place to send you beautiful, beautiful people off to. Well, I mean, now you have a backup, you know, Hyper Mega Launcher, so it's all good, dude. I'll give you the Clanka Pass, but will you let me say it with the hard R? Ooh. Okay, so let's see here. I mean, I'm not broken up over the fact that we're building this. This is an amazing... Ooh. Wait, was there a Halloween update? Oh, no, because it's Halloween right now, though. It looks like there, for my side... There's like a Halloween update if you want that. Okay, I might need to look into that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna send you over there. I know we raided into like Sawa, like I think on Monday, but I'm gonna send you to Sawa again because I'm interested in this. Sawa's that little Puerto Rican girl who can talk like a stereotypical black woman in a very effective fashion. Ooh. We started off normal, but we did get all over the place. The autism took over. The autism really did. Yeah, it just looks like, I don't know if it's a mod or not, but yeah, there's a bunch of pumpkins in my side right now. And let me look for a place to send you on Twitch. How many people are on Twitch? Okay, we're gonna link out on Twitch because there's only like 1 or 2 people. So let's see here. Screw it, I'm gonna send you to Atya. Wait. Hold up. Yeah, I'm just gonna send you to Atya for now. Atya's actually working on the concept art. I contracted her just earlier today. I contracted her just earlier today for the concept art for the rebranding. Because all the character design has been worked out. Everything is like fine in that regard. And we are now onto the concept art stage of the rebranding. So hopefully I can share some of those with you, like, I don't know, by the end of next month. But in the meantime, I want you guys to have a great day, a wonderful life, and remember not to lose your heads. We'll be back tomorrow with some spooky karaoke. I don't know how many songs I'll be able to think of, but if you can recommend some, the stream can go on longer. Artism! We didn't do any art today, though. We didn't draw. You could have voted for the drawing, but you didn't. What are we doing tomorrow? I just said karaoke, you fucking moron. What are we doing on Friday? We're doing Alien Isolation. We're going to continue Alien Isolation into November, but we're also going to be playing Digimon next week as well. So we will be continuing Digimon as well. However, in the meantime, there might not be viewer polls for you guys in the meantime. I'm not sure. If there is a viewer pick for streams, it'll be on Tuesdays probably, which means that the polls will have to be a lot earlier. You're welcome for the stream. I want, just have a good time, everyone. Yeah, we would definitely do more Digimon. I really liked it. I figured out how to get off of the soft lock. Ooh, I just had to reset the area. And with that, let's end before we get to